Hello, I'm WoTomatoSauce, and today we will be reviewing the World of Tanks Commander's Guide by Tom Hatfield and published by Seven Oaks. Well, first off, the book is easy to read and understand. Not only does the book have useful information on the game, it contains a brief history on wargaming and an extremely brief one on the history of tanks. Not to say that all your information in this book is up to date with the game. For example, wargaming a few patches back rebalanced low tier matchmaking. Your T1 no longer has a 20mm gun, for better or worse, which the book recommends you upgrade to, and that is just the one I've spotted. There is a whole missing tech tree as well, and it just had to be the one I struggle to pronounce. Your Czechoslovakian tech tree is completely missing. The F34202 and your Lorraine 40T are in this book. They, however, are not in the game, for better or worse. The Waffle Dragon is in this book as well. However, that has been replaced with your Grill 15 in the game. The gameplay guides in the book are only useful for new players. The Wargaming North American channel, that link on screen somewhere, has been doing a better job than this book. And at the time of recording this, they've done a brief introduction. The guide tells people to aim for weak spots, but completely negates to tell players where those weak spots are. It doesn't even say aim for the lower front plate, aim for commander's hatcheries, or aim for viewports. It has a few guides for playing in platoons that aren't seen often in randoms such as baiting, but if you've ever played clan wars or strongholds with a decent clan, you've used them and know how to use them. Another problem with this book is that all the guides are found online for free and quite often better. The book's map guides are okay. They're useful for novices, and again, Wargaming North America is explaining them better than the book. It's basic stuff that I already know and I'm a noob. The tactics by tier section is only useful for new players. Each tier is about a paragraph long and is summed up by saying that most people play tiers 5, 6 and 8. The guide on tank classes is next to useless and again only useful to new players. Early in the book it says several times that suicide scouting might be a way to go, but it at least corrects itself later. Not all light tanks are scout tanks, such as the Valentine and the Duck. It does luckily, however, tell heavy tanks not to camp behind the RT. I'll just repeat that in case any IS-7 drivers missed that. Do not camp behind the artillery. You camp in front of them. To the best of my knowledge, crew skills, rules and ability are correct, as well as how ammo works, which will be useful for older players. There is a table on earning XP and credits, and it had information that I did not know about. For example, you get XP for the first spot. The book recommends some premium tanks for earning silver, but due to how basic this book is, I would not recommend you follow it to a letter. I wouldn't buy your T34 and SU-11244 if you're learning a lot from this book, because that will put you in games you just won't be skilled enough to deal with. Telling players to buy the Churchill 3, however, is a good call. It's a good little tank and it will make a very good crew trainer for your Soviet heavy tankers. If you don't have an account and you're thinking of making one on a North American server, the World of Tanks Reddit page has an invite code that will give you a free structural free if you use it while making your account. I find it odd that there's no bonus or invite codes with this when it is with your models. I'm not saying that you should give people tier 8 premiums, but things like your VAM2 and your T14, which are good tanks to give to novices, and you also can't get them on the gift shop anymore, making collectors want to get the book. And unlike your micro mouse, are completely balanced. Your book has ads for World of Warplanes and World of Warships at the end, which I found annoying, other people might find useful. If you really compare World of Warplanes to Battle Stations Midway, plane mechanics are similar anyway. No, that's a topic for another video. I find it odd that due to how basic your guides are in this book, that it's also telling people to take part in your wargaming league, which, well, you're telling people who don't know how to play professionally. The book does contain a lot of pictures on tanks, some of which have been wallpapers on the official site. Others are actual photographs. As someone who likes to collect things, I would say it's worth your £5 I've spent on it, mainly because I will be taking it to TankFest 2017 and getting people to sign it. However, I could not recommend this at your recommended retail price of £18, even if you are new to the game. However, if you would want a free one, I have bought an extra, and it will be given out in a subscriber giveaway, as long as you live in Europe or the United States or Canada.